Alright guys, just doing a quick sound check and then I think we should be good to go. What's the delay? Cool. Hey, look, massive apologies. I think I signed myself to a PTA. Don't know. Find out details a little bit about it later. Went to my kids' school today and yeah, parent-teacher meeting, and next thing you know, this meeting's happening. Anyway, we're here for level 2, guys. So I had a couple of questions sent to me on, what do we call it, on Instagram, I think it was. Had a couple of requests. So if you do have any questions and you just want to put it in, chuck it up on the, what do you call it, on the chat or even email, I will try and get to it. So what do we got? I got an algebra question at the moment that I can work on. If not, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to put it up. Otherwise, I've got one level 2 algebra question and one level 2 calculus request to do derivative of graphs, I believe. Let me just pull it out. So what is the algebra question? So the algebra question that I have, so equation is 3x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 5 equals k, has two identical solutions. Identical real solutions, there we go. And we got to find the value of k. So this is one of the discriminant questions that was sent to me today. Value of, not k, sorry, value of k. And then we've got a second question on, hang on, let me just pull it up. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Business, can't find it. Metasuit, there we go. Just finding the other questions now. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? The other questions we have is just looking at it, hold on. Got stuck on given the number of roots. Oh, right, no, this is the person that's actually sent it to my thing, so that's fine. So if you guys want to have a go at this question, guys, like we can have a go at it. Otherwise, if you do have any other questions, then yeah, just put it in the chat section or just send it to my email. I might give you guys like maybe a couple of minutes to try and do this. Remember, like whenever you see a kind of like these K questions, you really want to expand the brackets and simplify it as far as possible so that your end equation looks something like ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what we want to be doing is we've got 3x minus 5 and x plus 5 equals to k. We want to expand it and then bring it back to this particular format here. So give you guys a couple of minutes to do that. Let me know when you're done and I will happily go through the answers. Where are people from today? Oh, is my chat working or is it like just frozen? I don't know, can't tell. Yep, kind of going through that question. Find the value of k. Alright guys, so what are we going to do for this question? We're going to expand the brackets and we're going to have to rearrange. So expanding the brackets, we've got 3x times x, 3x times 5, negative 5 times x, and negative 5 times 5. So we are going to get 3x squared plus 15x minus 5x minus 25 equals to k. Once we do that, what's our next step is that we're going to have to simplify all of this. I kind of missed something here. X plus 5, 3x. Oh, sorry, she said 3x minus 1. I copied that wrong. So minus, let's try that again. Sorry, made a mistake there. 3x squared plus 5x, no, 15x. Minus x minus 5 is equal to k. Yeah, that looks alright. Simplifying this, we've got 3x squared plus 14x minus 5 equals to k. And we're going to bring the k to the right hand side. So we're going to end up with minus 5 minus k equals to 0. So at this point what we've got is we've got the a value, which is 3. We've got the b value, which happens to be positive 14. And we also have the c value, which is negative 5 minus k. Now, the interesting thing is, like, the part that's really important in this question is this right here. It says two identical roots. That means both of your roots are the same. Now, if both of the roots are the same, then you're actually looking at only one real solution. Oh, yep, Stacy, I thought I saw your request somewhere. I just can't remember where I saw it, but we can go through that after this question, yeah? Did we do that last time? I can't remember, but anyway, we'll do that again. Okay, so because it's two identical solutions, so two identical real solutions, is the same thing as saying one real solution. And what do I mean by that? Like, let's think about it like this, right? Like, if I have x minus 3 and x minus 3 is equal to 0, I've actually got two brackets where both of them are the same. So x minus 3 equals to 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So in my first case, x equals to 3, x equals to 3. And what you can kind of see here is that you've actually got two identical solutions, or you've actually got one real solution. All right, so be careful with the wording here. So they're actually saying two identical real solutions. They're not saying two different solutions. They're saying identical, which means it is the same number. So because of that, we know that the discriminant is going to equal to 0. All right, and if that equals to 0, then it's just a matter of substituting all of our b, a, and c. So we've got 14 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is minus 5 minus k, and all of that is equal to 0. All right, so let's kind of work this out at the moment. So we got 14 squared, that's 196, minus 12 times negative 5 minus k is equal to 0. I'm going to expand the brackets here, negative 12 times negative 5. So I'm doing this. And I'm going to end up with plus 60 plus 12k is equal to 0. So 196 and 60 is what, 256, plus 12k equals to 0. Then 12k equals minus 256. And then k is equal to minus 256. Did I do that right? I hope I did. Divided by 12. So k is equal to that. So we've got negative 256 divided by 12 is going to give me this particular answer, which I would prefer it in fraction actually. Let's see if this is going to work. Do that again, and then fraction to decimal is like negative 64 over 3. Good question, Infinitum. Like I'm kind of in the process at the moment, like maybe starting next week, I might actually do 3 streams. So we'll do like level 1 Sunday, level 2 Tuesday, and level 3 on Thursday. That's what I'm aiming for, and possibly I'll probably increase the number of level 1s as we get closer to the MCAT. But for this, like literally I was just kind of playing around just to see how busy things will get. But I think I'm kind of finished my busy period, so I can actually do a little bit more streams at the moment. Well, temporarily. So level 3 will be off, back again next week, man. Cool, guys. Let me know if you want to do another similar question like this. Otherwise, I'm going to answer Stacy's question here. So in terms of grades for this question, I would almost say this is a merit question here. I think if you recognize that, like, and I almost kind of would say that just from practicing these types of questions, you probably have to get to this stage here to kind of get an achieved, I would say. And then if you get to the end, you're probably looking at a merit for it. This is not really an excellence question. Cool. So if you guys want to let me know on chat if you want to do another algebra question. Otherwise, I'm going to move to Stacy's calculus question. Ming-Kyo Park. Why do I remember that name? I think you sent me a question, Ming-Kyo. It was a long email. So Ming-Kyo, what I might do is I might just give another algebra question, a similar question, and then actually I just want to show you guys something about this particular one and show you how it actually works out. Let me just grab another window here. What I want to show you guys is how the solution of negative 64 over 3 actually comes by, so you guys can visually see what's happening, so you understand. X plus 5 equals k. Oh, minus k. Just going to put that as minus k. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I want to see. Okay, there we go. That works. Negative 64 over 3 is 20. So negative 50 to 50. All right, let me see if I can just switch cameras here, guys. I'm just going to... All right, there we go. So what I've done here is I've actually got your equation, what we just worked on, 3x minus 1 and x plus 5. But I put minus k, right? And the reason I actually put minus k is because I actually want to draw this as a graph just to see what it looks like. So if you look at it, the original equation was 3x minus 1, x plus 5 equals to k. So what I did was I kind of said, oh, I want to actually look at this graph. So that's why I did minus k, and then I put this as equal to y. Now, as you guys can see, when k changes, you've got no roots, then you've got like something happening here where there's like 1 root, and then it's kind of like breaking off, right? So if I actually put a negative 64 over 3, that was what our answer was, you can kind of see that it actually has only one root there. So it's basically one solution there. All right, but they're 2 identical solutions. So that's what it means for you when we actually, like when we substitute that k as negative 64 over 3, it's actually giving us 1 solution. But remember, 1 solution is the same thing as saying 2 identical solutions. No, I was talking about it in the wrong one. There we go. Negative 2.33. So it's like when I put negative 64 over 3, that's where the turning point is actually happening, which means it's actually 1 solution. Sorry, I was a little bit off with that. All right, anyway, let's go to another question as mentioned. So we'll do one more question like this. And then we can do that. So we'll put in B squared minus, sorry, I'm just trying to work it out, B squared minus 4AC. Okay, so what if we do a question, I know I'm going to stuff this up, so I'm just going to test it if it actually works. Because the last thing I want to do for you guys is like give you a question and it doesn't actually work, and it kind of upsets everybody else. So we're going to try and avoid that situation here. So what do we got? 2x plus k. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys slightly little bit harder, yeah, like just to kind of see what happens. X plus 1 equals 3. Minus 3. Nah, I don't think it matters. Minus 3. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to make it slightly different with this question. So we're going to have this equation, which is 2x plus k, x plus 1 equals 3. Again, I'm going to give you guys has one solution for what value of k. A little bit harder this one, but still the same kind of principle behind it, yeah? I think sorry, that should have been minus 3, by the way, not negative 3. Sorry, that should be negative 3 there. Just a bit of change. So try that question, guys. I'll pick up your algebra question, Stacy. Stacy, where did you send it? Because I'm checking my email and I can't find it. Oh, no. Here we go. Oh, damn, I can't. Stacy, I can't see those 3 questions that you screenshotted. They're like really blurry. And for the last question, I need part 1 of that question for me to answer. And maybe it's because of, okay, hang on, let me try Instagram again because I'm accessing it through somewhere else. So same as before, guys, for question number 2 here. Expand it, expand the brackets, rearrange, and then try and bring it around to ax squared plus bx plus c, and I think you should be okay. I need to look at this question properly. Microsoft Word. Rotate. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll do that arcway question as well. But how are you guys going with this one? Do you guys want me to start working on question number 2? Let me know. Where is OC in Victor? Is that Oriwa College? I'm trying to think. All right, I'll start working on this question number 2 here. So we've got 2x plus k and x plus 1 minus 3, right? So we're going to write that down first, and we are going to have to expand the brackets first. So we've actually got 2x times x, 2x times 1, k times x, and k times 1. So what do we got? We've got 2x squared plus 2x plus kx plus k equals minus 3. We're going to have 2x squared plus 2 plus k x plus k, and of course negative 3 when it comes to this side is going to become plus 3, and all of this is equal to 0. So if you didn't get up to this part, then I'm going to be honest with you, the rest of the question for you is going to be incorrect. However, the good thing about algebra is that even if you make like a mistake here and you kind of show the rest of the working, you could still kind of walk away with a achieved at least for it. All right, so keep that in mind always. Right, so we've got this written in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So our a value is going to be 2, our b value is going to be 2 plus k, and our c value is going to be k plus 3. Now we also know that it is one solution, so if it's one solution then the discriminant has to equal 0. So we can actually say b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. All right, so with that in mind, we've actually got 2 plus k, or we can write it as k plus 2, just being lazy. K plus 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which happens to be k plus 3. And all of this is equal to 0. So we're going to expand the brackets here. We've got k squared plus 4k plus 4 minus 8k, minus 8 times 3 is negative 24, is equal to 0. So then we've got k squared minus 4k and 20. Oh, I'm giving hard questions here, man. K squared minus 4k minus 20. See, this is what happens when I make up questions on the spot. You're always going to get like ugly ass numbers, but that's all right. So we're actually going to end up with 2 values for k. Now at this point what we can do is we can just chuck it straight in the calculator. We're going to go into equation, and we've got polynomial, which is 2f2 degree 2, and we're going to punch in these values, which is 1, negative 4, and negative 20. Okay, as you guys can see, we've got 2 answers here. So we've actually got 2 solutions for k, which is 6.8989, and we've got negative 2.8989. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to actually show you guys what this looks like in the on the graph. So on the graph, if we go here, where is it? Wrong window. We're going to go here. So as you guys can see, what I've done is I've kind of put this 2x plus k and x plus 1 plus 3. That was what our original equation was. Then if you look at it, if I put this as 8989, where's my solution there? So if you look at it, my solution was 8989799486, blah blah blah, whatever. 8989 79486. So you can kind of see, like, I mean, I know it's not really, but if you go zoom in right there, you can see that it has one solution when we put this value. Now our other answer was actually 6.8989. So I'm going to go here and get rid of that negative 2 and replace it with 6. And there is my other where it actually has one solution. So for these 2 values of k, this is going to give us one solution. But if you have any other value for k, then you're going to end up with no solution, 2 solutions there. So you can kind of see two solutions. There's solution 1, solution 2, and still with two solutions, but then at negative 2.9, when k is equal to negative 2.9, there's one solution, and then there's no solution, and it kind of comes around later, right about there, when k is equal to 6.89, I think it is, whatever that was, 6.8989. So there you go, it kind of has that one extra solution. All right, guys, so not yet, Amy. It's still on my list of things to do. I keep looking at it and I keep forgetting it. I apologize. I'll try and get to it this weekend, yeah? Because when I do my weekend videos, I'll try and have a look at it. So let me know how you guys went with this question. Do we want to do another one? Are we happy with it? Otherwise, I can move on to the sketching derivative and anti-derivatives. Now, it's definitely in my headspace, Amy, like in terms of my work. I know it's one of the comments I haven't cleared on my YouTube, so I know that's one of the things I need to follow up. So it is definitely there on my list of things to do. Did we do some of the graphs, or we didn't? Or did we just drift? Yeah, we did do that, but not as frequently by the looks of it. No, we didn't. Okay, that's all right. Cool. Shall we go to Stacy's question here for sketching derivatives, or yeah, let's go sketching derivatives. Mix it up today. Got a bit of algebra and a bit of calculus. All right. So with sketching derivatives, right? Like, and guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you only need about 10 minutes to actually get the sketching derivatives part. The most important thing about sketching derivative questions is that they always put two grids on top of each other for the whole page. All right. So if you go back and have a look at any one of the previous exam papers, they always put like the question on top, the grid of the question on the top, and then the questions actually, the answer grid is actually right below it, and it's almost like lined up perfectly. All right. There is a reason why they do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you a rough sketch. Actually, just give me a second. I'm going to see if I can try and get this into grid paper. Where can I do that? View rule lines. Here we go. Beautiful. There's my grid lines. And I want an X and Y axis. If I can find it. Yeah, can't be bothered. Let's just do it quickly, hands down. Actually, wait. Just give me 1 second. I just want to try something here. So we've got, what are we going to do? We're going to do y equals x squared plus 3. Oh yeah, there we go. Graph in 2D. Ooh, there we go. Nice. Now I need an empty grid. Let's just put. Now I'm just going to create another one. That's fine. Trying to match it. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got these two grids underneath each other. Now I know that the purple line is there, but let's just kind of ignore it. Can't actually rub it out. I want an empty grid. Damn it, it's alright. Let's just leave it like this. That's okay. I don't want this one. Let's delete that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to kind of sketch that graph there. Okay, So let's do this one here first, right? Let's say this one is f of x, and then this one here is f dash of x. So you're asked to actually kind of draw this graph, the derivative function for this parabola, right? Now the way we do it, guys, and as I said to you guys before, it's really important to understand that they give you those two grids on top of each other for a reason, because you almost need to do it like this, right? You grab a ruler, and I always take down the turning points. Like if you look at this right here, the turning point right now for this graph is right, that's terrible. Where's the undo button? Maybe choose this one here. The turning point is right there, all right? And because the turning point is right there, we're gonna actually go to where the point is at 0, and we're gonna put that green line there. Now anything before the green point, if you look at the ruler is actually towards the negative direction, all right? This is a huge negative gradient, a very big negative gradient, and then we're kind of getting kind of like smaller negative gradient, smaller, and eventually getting to 0, which means everything before that is going to look like a straight line but in the negative. Now if you look at it after this green point, it's actually going positive, very slowly increasing, and then eventually it's actually quite high. So this actually ends up looking like a straight line. Now if you think about it like this, right, this is a parabola. You've actually got y equals to x squared, or we can say f of x is equal to x squared. When you differentiate f of x, you're going to get f dash of x, which actually equals to 2x. So that's one of the reasons why when you differentiate a parabola, you're actually going to get a straight line. But as long as your straight line is going through the 0 there, and it's actually matching up. So notice how this turning point is matching up to here, this would be correct. But if you decide to draw a straight line that looks like this is actually incorrect, because according to this one, the turning point is actually here, which means if we were to go back now, and I think that you have to understand with going backwards is that the parabola could be anywhere, right? Like for example, your parabola could look like this, as long as the turning point is along that red dotted line. It could be any one of these options for the parabola. So this is what we mean by when we're anti-differentiating or integrating. You could actually, when you're going backwards from the differentiated function to the original function, you've actually got multiple answers. Because remember, when you integrate, you're going to get that constant. We don't know what that constant is. Because we don't know what that constant is, we are going to get a parabola that as long as the turning point is along that red dotted line, then you're going to be okay. Oh, I'm going to give you guys, do one more example here. But this time, let's go with, let's see if this works now. Oh, it's not bad. Let's do this one, because this one is a much clearer one to understand. So here is my equation, and now I need to actually work out the gradient function for this. All right, so what am I going to do? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to go down and mark my turning points. My turning points are here and here. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make sure that it's kept at 90 degrees, and I am going to kind of like draw this line here. So those are where my two turning points are. And remember that this is a cubic equation. All right, so if it's a cubic equation, when I differentiate it, I'm going to end up with a quadratic, which is 3x squared. So this is f of x, this is f dash of x. And my two turning points, because it's a parabola that we're looking at, the points where it cuts the x-axis is those 2 points there. Those are your two important points. Once you have that, it doesn't matter even if if you draw your parabola like this, you'll get it correct. If you draw a parabola like this, maybe I should have chosen a different color. Like something like this, where it goes through those 2 points, you'll still get it correct. All right, so when it comes to like sketching derivatives, what they're looking for is those important turning points where your turning points are happening, and then where the differentiated functions cutting the x-axis, because that's like the important part there. So that's one of the reasons why they always have like the 2 grids on top of each other. Let me know if you guys are okay with it, or if you want another question. Happy to throw another question up there for you guys. Okay, so let's have a look at that. All right, if you do have a linear function, what happens? It's a great question. Think about it like this. When you have a linear function, right, it's like, let's do y is equal to, let's do this here. So we're going to do y is equal to 2x plus 1. I'm going to get that to graph. So what happens here? Well, here it's really important, Stacy, that you pick this up, all right? Because here, if they don't give you a unit, they just give you like a straight line like this, right? They will have to give you some sort of indication what the gradient is, because so they might actually put down like y is equal to 2x plus 1, or in our case, if they don't actually give you the equation, they just leave it like this, then you might have to manually work out what the gradient is. And you can see that it is going up by 2, run is 1, so this one's gradient is equal to 2. But remember, we did say this was going to be 2x plus 1, and the gradient is 2, which is right there, which means your differentiated function at 2, you're going to get a flat line like this. So that's what happens with a straight line. When you get a straight line, you differentiate it, you're going to get a flat line. But to get the gradient, like, you need to know what number to put it, right? And so that's why you kind of need to work out what the gradient is. So if they give the equation to you, then you can kind of just go look at the gradient in front of x and just go, yep, that's my 2 right there. So I'm just going to write this down as a flat one. So this, in this case, this is f of x. In this case, this is f dash of x. The other thing, remember, Stacy, this is important. Like, notice how here it says y. In this one, it is actually y dash. So that's like the differentiated function. So the top graph tells you the y value when x is equal to 1. The bottom graph tells you when x equals to 1, the gradient at 1. It tells you the slope. It doesn't tell you the y coordinate, but it tells you what the slope is. And that's something really important to understand as you head towards calculus. Yes, Stacy, that's when you have a straight line. And when you have a straight line and you want a you want to do a derived function graph for it, it'll be a flat line at the gradient value. So say, for example, I have something like this. I'm going to do it here. And say that this one is equal to y is equal to negative, I don't know, 3x minus 1. Then at the gradient function, that's going to be at negative 3. And it's going to look like this, like a flat line. All right, let me just have a look if there's any more questions. You did send me another question, like I was trying to open it up. All right, I want to try and give you guys another question, which is like a algebra question again, to do with discriminants. So guys, we've got a couple of options here. Do you guys want to do discriminant, another discriminant question, or do you want to do like a, I can't do this word question without getting into trouble. I might have to save this word question. Who sent this to me? Sophie, Sophie. I think you sent me a parabola question. That's from I might actually just do that separately as a viewer question, so I can change the question up a little bit. How do you mean, Ollie Spin? I'm not understanding your question. What's the next step after this in calculus? Look, I got a great question here for algebra with discriminants again, so we can kind of do that real quickly. What is it? Find possible values. Values of D if no real solutions exist for x squared minus 3x plus 4 minus dx squared minus 1 equals to 0. I think this is a great question here. I think it's Vidya that sent it to me. Yeah. Oh, and that other question is good as well, but I think we'll try this one for now, eh? Ollie Spin, if you want to get like a merit or an excellence in calculus, I think it's, how do I say, it's just practice, man. You got to practice a lot of these, because in calculus they kind of have like the same repeat questions. It's not like algebra where they tend to throw you off a lot. Calculus is just kind of like, you know, you've got your standard differentiation, and then they'll put like a straight line and whatnot. You know, there's only a certain number of combinations that they could ask in calculus. But so I'd say if you have a look at the past papers, you're pretty much are going to be on the right track for kind of getting prepped for calculus. Algebra is at level 2 is a different story, because you've got, yeah, the questions just kind of like they change up every year, and they try to be a bit trickier with the questions, I guess. So yeah, I wish I could give you a straightforward answer. I can't. So guys, for this question, what you want to do is expand the brackets and then rewrite it to ax squared. So have a go at this. I think anybody can do this. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And also remember that we're looking for value for D, so there's no real solutions. And if there's no real solutions, then your b squared minus 4ac has to be less than 0. Yeah, no worries, Ollie Spin. So I'm going to give you guys maybe a couple of minutes just to see how far you can get with this question, and then I'll go through the answers, yeah? Let's see if this actually works. But x squared no real solutions exist. It's a gap. Tom, I got a playlist for you, man, that's gonna kind of help you with this. But I'm gonna be honest with you. This was recorded during the pandemic, I think 2020. But I've been kind of told that I just need to find it. What the hell? Where did I put it? Give me a second, buddy. Pandemic. If I can find the playlist. I need to put this down properly. I keep stuffing it up. Session 2. All right, here we go. All right, Tom, basically I've dropped a playlist for you there. Don't watch the first video because I was still trying to figure out what the hell I was doing in the middle of pandemic. But starting from video 2 of that playlist, it's pretty much like intro to complex numbers. And they're like 12 one-hour videos almost. Most guys that have watched it have come out and said that they've either got a merit or an excellence. Good luck with it. Enjoy. It's 12 hours. Should cover pretty much majority of the type of questions that we do for the exams. All right, guys, as for the other guys that are here, let me know if you want me to go through this question or if you need a bit more time. That's fine as well. I'm going to start going through this question at about 9:20, yeah? Yeah, no worries, Tom. That's weird. Okay, guys, I'm gonna start going through this question here. Now, this question here, it's possible that it's borderline merit excellence. I knew this was excellence a couple of years ago, but I don't know now. They just keep messing around with these things. All right, so what have we got? We are going to kind of expand the brackets first. So we've got x squared minus 3x plus 4 minus dx squared plus d is equal to 0. All right, so far so good. Next, we're going to combine all of our like terms. So we've got x squared minus dx squared minus 3x plus 4 plus d is equal to 0. Now the x minus d, I can take it out as a common factor, or actually not x minus d. I'm going to take 1 minus d. 1 minus d times x squared minus 3x plus 4 plus d equals to 0. Now remember, this is written in the format of quadratic. So we've got ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So with the a value being 1 minus d, the b value being minus 3, and the c value being 4 plus d. All right, so with that in mind, we can actually rewrite this as, now we also know that we've got no real solutions. That means b squared minus 4ac has to be less than 0. So we're going to put that down. B squared minus 4ac is less than 0. And then we're going to start substituting our values. So we've got negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 minus d. That's the a value. And the c value is 4 plus d. And all of that has to be less than 0. All right, I'm going to pause there. And I'm going to put some line numbers. So if there's any part that you guys don't understand, just give me a yell out. And if that's all okay, then I'll just keep carrying on with this question. Quiet audience, we keep carrying on. So our next thing is we've got negative 3 squared, which is going to make it 9. And then we've got 9 minus 4, and I need to expand the brackets inside here. So I've got 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times d is d, minus 4d minus d squared. And all of this is still less than 0. All right, so we've got line 7. Moving to expanding the brackets. So 9 minus, I'm just going to simplify the brackets first. So we've got 4 minus 3d minus d squared. All of that is less than 0. Then we've got 9. Far from it, home brand, far from it, but hopefully you can find something useful, man. So we're going to expand these brackets, guys. So negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Negative 4 times negative 3 is plus 12d. And negative 4 times negative d squared, that's 4d squared. And all of this is less than 0. So last bit is we're going to write this as 4d squared plus 12d. 9 minus 16 is minus 7. And we've got less than 0. Right, now here's where things get a bit choppy, right? Like people kind of start getting a bit not messed up, but just kind of like silly mistakes here. But like, I'm going to show you guys. Originally, we actually had the discriminant that had to be less than 0, right? That's what we started with. But somewhere along the way, this discriminant, which was b squared minus 4ac, it changed into a quadratic, and then we've got to figure out when is this quadratic less than 0. So 2 ways we can do this, right? The first way we can do it is we can actually get the 2 solutions and kind of sketch it out. Or let me see if this actually works in the graphics calculator, because sometimes I try to do it and then it doesn't work. It's a bit embarrassing, but it's all right. We go to graphs and we're going to punch in this, but instead of d squared, we're going to use x squared. So we've got 4x squared plus 12x minus 7, and we're going to punch it in both of this. Now if you guys have a look at this, what I've got here is a parabola, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Looks like I need to zoom out a little bit more, and this is where I get really frustrated with this, right? Like this is like annoying, because I'm like, I want to see my parabola, I can't see it. Getting to you, Just Noor, give me a second, man. So what we can do is just do like a rough sketch, and this is something we did in level 1. Remember, we were doing level 1 with MCAT. We were doing like, oh, when is this quadratic negative, or when is this quadratic less than 0 or greater than 0? That's exactly what we're doing here. Our first thing is that identifying that we actually have a positive quadratic. Because it's a positive quadratic, we know it's going to look like this. All right, we know that. But what we want to know is that we know that it's going to have something like this. It might not, we don't know, we're just going to find out. But what I might do is like, I might just put this separate on the side here. 4d squared plus 12d minus 7, and I'm going to put it as equals to 0. And the reason why we put equals to 0 is because then we can get the 2 roots. So we're going to go into equation. we're going to go into polynomial, degree 2, and we're going to chuck in those values. So we've got 4, we've got 12, and we've got -7. Great. So those are my two values, which is 0.5. So d is equal to 0.5 and -3.5. Now what I can do is, if I put a line like this and I call this line y is equal to 0, then I know the 2 points that I'm looking at is -3.5 and 0.5. Now negatives go on the left hand side, you know, the biggest number comes on the right hand side, so that's all good. Now we're going to go back to this little problem here. So we are looking for, when is this graph less than 0? And the part when it's less than 0 is actually between these two values here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to simply write this as -3.5 less than d less than 0.5. All right, so all I've done there is to kind of say that d has to be between -3.5 and 0.5. And if that happens, there are no real solutions. Now, keep these numbers in mind, because what we're going to do is we're going to go and check this out on Desmos just to see what happens. Okay, where's my desktop's camera? Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of the K. We don't really need the K. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've drawn this graph and I'm going to have like a range of d values. Now, if you guys look at this, you can kind of see straight away. Let's zoom in a bit. I'm looking at it here right now. See, there's two solutions there. And then there's two solutions here. But then there's a small gap when there's actually no solution. Okay, if you look at it right now there's two solutions. Look at that. 1, 2. What about here? Still two solutions. What about here? Still two solutions. And look at the value of d. Because if we go back to the original question, we actually said that when d is between -3.5 and 0.5, there's going to be no solutions. So we're going to go back here. Right now we're at 0.8. Let's go to 0.7, two solutions. 0.6, two solutions. 0.5, there is a solution. Okay, there's a reason behind that, because if you go look at my answer, it actually says d has to be less than 0.5. The moment d is less than 0.5, you're going to have no solutions. But if d is equal to 0.5, then you're going to have at least one solution there. So if you have a look at it, right now put d equals to 0.5, there is one solution. But if I change this to 49999, guess what? It doesn't actually cut that x-axis. Like, I'd have to zoom in quite a bit. See, I can't really, I know it says that, but it's theoretically it shouldn't say that. But I think that's just the Desmos thing. All right, so let's go back to here and we're going to put that as 0.5. And I think if you look at it, our other value was -3.5. So if we were to go along here to, just going to play this. I can't move this. So there we go. So at -3.5, you can see it's touching it, but after that, there's actually no solution. So when it's between -3.5, come on, do this slowly. There's no solutions, none at all. And then by the time it gets to 0.5, it's going to actually have one solution. So if we go back here, we've kind of like just had a quick look, and I just kind of showed you guys in the on Desmos just to show you how the meaning behind between -3.5 and 0.5. How do you know without Desmos about? So the thing is, Stacy, you know, look, that's one of the, how do I say it? It's one of the problems with graphics calculator, right? Because you can do X, but you can't actually do two of them. But you can find those two values between like, how do I say it? You can find those two values by using the traditional graph, like the parabola, like how I did in the red box. But the more questions you do like this, especially with the discriminant questions, the more questions you do them, you kind of will start to see that it's a bit of a repetitive kind of thing that they keep asking. They'll ask you like no solutions, two solutions, or one solution. All right, but predominantly they tend to stick with, for excellence, they tend to stick with no real solutions or two solutions, because it has that greater than 0 or less than 0. So you've got to kind of work out, you got to kind of work out the parabola at the end and get that zone correct to get an excellence. Hopefully that answered your question, Stacy. Just Nor, that's good. I'm good. I have my mock exams coming. How should I study for them? I'm in level 2. Just Nor, I would say if you're happy with the skills, go straight to my playlist that has the past exam papers. Just go through them. If you're like, that's too hard, I can't do that, then there's a whole bunch of level 2 tutorials that you can follow. Let me just show you where they are. So if you go into level 2 exams and revisions, start with that. If that's like the final end product that you're preparing for. So if it's a bit too challenging, head over to algebra tutorials. Those are like past live streams. Yeah, heaps of videos. That's like more than 25 hours worth of footage there. And if you're like, no, that's still not right for me, then you can go look at algebra prep. Or even if you go further down, you're going to see like all of the skills that you need. So this is level 2 algebra skills, level 2 calculus skills. I'm still working on. It's been a slow 3-year process. Just Nor, I'm going to tell you right now, go have a look at those live tutorials from I did previously. I break it down real simple, dude. Like, especially like if you look at like 2019 and 2020 tutorials, you'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be fine. Just keep going, do that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any stuff on probability, man. Just I only do calculus and algebra. Oh wow, 9:35. Right, guys. Look, I'm gonna call it at the moment. It is getting a bit late. Got work tomorrow. Bidya, I know you sent me those 2 other questions. I might see if I can try and book them in for either Sunday night, Monday night release. I'll do like a few videos. I'll put it up there. I'll put it as markers unread. Where did it go? Yeah. Yeah, no worries, guys. Look, if you do, as always, like I said, like if you have questions, just pop it to the email. Usually, like it's a bit. I know people always put down word questions. I just got to be kind of careful with the word questions, because some people can ping me for copyright and like just don't want to kind of. So I have to kind of reword your question or rewrite the question, or sometimes just shrink it down. So if it's like one of those creating what do you call it, equations, like, and it's got full words, it's a bit tricky for me to do without getting pinged for copyright. How do I find values for A, B, or C when given the number of roots when substitution is required for solving? Yeah, but yeah, I know you asked me this question before as well. I kind of need if you can give me an example of a question, because I'm trying to understand what your question is. And because when you say finding values of A, B, and C, I'm thinking of discriminant, like quadratic, but then I don't understand, yeah, what that substitution is required for solving. Sam, I think we're going to be sticking to Sundays now, man, because I just having trying to figure this out. So I think I'm going to go Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday for lives. Sorry, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So level 1, level 2, level 3. Just to keep it a bit easy for people to remember. At least they know that there's tutorials on for today, instead of trying to get you guys to choose, because it kind of sucks for some of the other guys. From what, like, where was I born, Ghosty, or as in like which country I'm from? What's the question? Or both? Yeah, sweet as Sam. Catch you on Sunday. Both? Well, I'm from Auckland, based in South Auckland, and then I'm from India. So I moved here when I was 12. I was very young. I like this, kind of like chill out. It's like my real classroom where I can just do a bit of work and then just have a conversation. South India, man, like Tamil Nadu. But if you really, really want to know where I'm from, I'll see if this actually works. Where did it go? Yeah, here we go. So if you really want to know where I'm from, this is how far I'm from. Yeah, whatever. No, not Google Maps. Where is it? Earth. Google Earth. I wonder if this will actually work. I've always wanted to try it. Like, how is it on a stream when I try to stream this? Let's go. So, Vector Park. This is where I'm from. I don't know, is this smooth on YouTube? I don't know. I can't see the other version of it. Yes, that's my hometown there. So, quite far off, as you can see. How do I turn this? There we go. Hometown. It's pretty cool. Oh, is it? Oh man, I always wonder about it, right? When I'm streaming, it's like, is there laggy or not? But no, that's me. That's where I'm from. Nice, from Kerala. You know, it's one state I never got to visit. I've gone up and down the country for a few places. I never visited Bombay or the east or the west. But Kerala is somewhere I really wanted to go. Closest I got to was Ooty. Then after that, I never went past that. Wait, are you from Kerala now, or are you actually in New Zealand? Like, I'm kind of curious. Well, no, because sometimes I get some kids joining from there, and it's just kind of interesting seeing that. But wait, if you're from Kerala, were you born in Kerala, or were you from, like, born in New Zealand, but then parents are from Kerala? Ah, nice. So I love that. Like, I've seen some photos, like when I was a kid, man. Like, I really wanted to go and visit, but yeah. Vidya, I spent about, was it nearly? I spent some time in Pokhara. I was in Pokhara for like nearly 6 weeks. Did Annapurna Base Camp. Spent some time volunteering at a children's home there. Are you from Nepal, Vidya? Oh, I should move this here. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Just jump over here. Hang on. Yeah, 5, eh? Ghosty? Have you gone back yet, or still haven't gone back? Have you gone back home yet? Yeah, man. I haven't been back home since 2010. Yeah, 2010 was the last time I was in India. Like I was in Nepal in 2012, but never got around to going to India because I did a big trip and kind of skipped India, unfortunately. Oh, Jasneem, no, no, no. Every year, Jasneem, people ask me to do the level two probability exam, but I don't know, Jasneem. I just can't explain probability. Like I feel like I can explain calculus and algebra a lot differently compared to probability. Normal distribution I can do, probability trees I can do, but like some of those other questions, like just like get lost in the language. Like my, yeah, English is still working on my English with probability. That's why some of those word questions in algebra just throw me off because I'm like, this feels like an English exam more like a maths exam. And sometimes I have to go through the answer schedule to kind of go, what the hell are they even trying to ask? Um, yeah. So no, not doing probability, not adding more work. What do we have? Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, I've been actually living alone here since I was 18, man. Like, my family moved here when I was 12, and then I was 18 when my folks decided to move to Australia, and then I decided to stay back on my own, and had like two suitcases, and that was it. Started from scratch, from literally zero. Two suitcases, and I think it was about $500 in my bank account. That's all I had because I had saved up some money, and that was it. Yeah, unfortunately, the hustle hasn't stopped. Like I wish I could actually like sometimes I'm like, oh man, I just want to play games right now. Like right now, I'm thinking I want to play games, but and then I'm like, no, I'll do my YouTube tutorial and then get some shut eye and start the grind again. I'm surprised. I finished the tutorial like almost 10 minutes ago, but there's still like heaps of people just still here. What games do I play, Frederick? Massive fan of you guys are gonna laugh, but like I have a secret addiction. I play a gem match game, which is like I think it's called WWE Champ. I'm just bluffing, but it is actually called WWE Champions. It's a gem match game, and been playing that for such a long time, for 5 years nearly. But before that, I was a chronic addict to World of Warcraft. Um, and then I play a bit of like old school games like Age of Empires and StarCraft. FIFA, I played a lot of FIFA Ultimate Team until when I realized that after I built this amazing team, got taken away at the end of the year, which just kind of frustrated me. I was like, I did all that work, and then they're like, oh, here comes FIFA 16. You got to restart all over from the beginning. I was like, what the hell? No way. Okay, Coimbatore. I'm tempted. Like I have to. I've never actually done this in my stream, but I think I'll have to speak Tamil, especially if this guy is from Coimbatore or whoever's from Coimbatore. Yeah, Ghosty, every year by the end of November, I'm like, I think it's time for me to retire. I'm like, I want to call it. I I can't, That's such a long name. I can't even say that name out loud. Like, I'd even saw it if. நிஜமான பேர் என்ன சொன்னீங்கன்னா சொல்லலாம். ஆனால் இங்கிலீஷில் இவ்வளோ லெட்டர்ஸ் போட்டு வச்சா அது படிக்க முடியாது நம்மளால. There we go. First time it happened today. I spoke Tamil in my stream. Man, I got so much work and I'm like mucking around with you guys. So let's do some work in the background. Coimbatore, I'm actually from Kodumuni, man, so it's like not far. I used to visit Coimbatore when I was there because my father's brother used to live there. We had family living in Coimbatore. Ammar Bilal, yes, I do teach at a school. I teach at yeah, no worries, Ollie Spin. Catch you, man. Ammar Bilal. I teach at Ormiston Junior College. Yeah, so I used to teach senior college before, and then I got bored of not bored. I got kind of, well, actually I did get bored. I got bored of NCEA maths, and then I was like, I need to go do something else. So during the daytime, I teach year 8 and year 9 maths. That's all I do. I teach like one class of year 8 and year 9 maths, which I enjoy. A good bunch of kids. And then the rest of the time I do other things. And then in the nighttime I do YouTube stuff for like NCEA level 1 to 3. Close that. Alright guys, I'm actually gonna call it because I've actually got so much schoolwork to do for later tonight. It's like 10 o'clock. I'll tell you what, I'll catch up with you guys on Tuesday because I'll be doing level 2s on Tuesday and then level 1s on Monday, and we'll probably do level 3s on Thursday. Alright, take care guys, and it was good, nice speaking in Tamil for a change. Yeah, and if one massive favor from you is that if you can kind of share that I exist, because a lot of people actually don't know this channel exists at all till the end of till the night before the exams. Like I see my what do you call it, the view count go up on the night of the exam, and then people message me in the morning and say, man, I wish I'd found this like a week ago, it would have saved me. So yeah, if you could support in any way, is let people know that I exist. Just, you know, if anyone's struggling in maths, ask them to find me and watch my stuff, and yeah, just stay tuned for tutorials. But apart from that, stay safe. You guys are awesome. Thank you for staying this long, and I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Bye guys.